All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we're going to take something you probably remember from childhood, a classic fable, but we're treating it like an absolute masterclass in the psychology of manipulation. We're breaking down the anatomy of a deception through the story of the fox and the crow. So let's dive right in. To unpack this like a proper psychological heist, here's our game plan. First, the setup and the prize. Second, the physical dilemma. Third, weaponizing flattery. Fourth, springing the trap. And finally, number 5, the timeless warning. Let's get to it. Okay, before we jump into the story itself, we really need to understand our main antagonist here, the flatterer. You know, a flatterer isn't just someone being nice to you out of the goodness of their heart. Not at all. In the context of our explainer, a flatterer is a strategic operator. They're using compliments, sure, but they're doing it specifically because they want something from you. It's a calculated strategy. Keep that in the back of your mind as we go. Section 1, the setup and the prize. The heist begins. Picture this. It's early morning in the woods, and we've got 2 key players. First, a highly motivated, incredibly hungry fox prowling around on the ground looking for a meal. And second, a crow who's perched nice and secure way up on the very highest branch of a tree. Now, the stakes here are immediately high. The crow isn't just chilling and enjoying the view. She is holding a piece of cheese really tightly in her beak. And while the fox spots his target, he absolutely loves cheese, and he instantly decides that this exact piece of cheese, yeah, it belongs to him. He wants it for his breakfast. Which brings us to Section 2, the physical dilemma, an impossible theft. The crucial point we have to look at here is the physical barrier. The fox is stuck on the ground and the crow is elevated way out of reach. A physical theft is quite literally impossible. The fox can't just scramble up the tree and snatch it, so he has to pivot. He realizes brute force is completely off the table, so he shifts gears entirely into psychological warfare. He thinks, and finally he lands on this brilliant tactical maneuver. He says to himself, I will make her talk. It's such a simple yet profound realization. If he can't go up to get the cheese, he has to make the cheese come down to him. And the literal only way to do that is to get the crow to voluntarily open her mouth. Moving on to Section 3, weaponizing flattery, the deception. You really have to notice the stark contrast here between the fox's hidden predatory motive, which is, I think I found my breakfast, and his outward charm. He plops down at the bottom of the tree and calls up, Good morning, Miss Crow. It's a lovely day, isn't it? It is a completely disarming opening line, custom designed to hide his true intentions. But the crow? She doesn't fall for it right away. Her defense mechanisms are locked in tight. She just looks down at the fox, remaining highly suspicious, gripping that cheese tightly in her beak, and she says absolutely nothing. She even completely ignores his follow-up when he asks, Did you hear me? Maybe you can't hear me up there? Her guard is all the way up. Well, the fox realizes this isn't going to be a walk in the park, but he refuses to give up. Instead, he deploys a step-by-step formula for weaponized flattery. Step 1, breaking the ice, totally failed. So he moves to Step 2, complementing physical traits. He flashes a smile, calls her the most beautiful bird, praises her shiny feathers, her intelligent eyes, and even clumsily compliments her pointy beak. He's basically telling her she's physically perfect. But she still stays totally silent. So he moves to Step 3, the nuclear option, a massive attack on her ego. He asks if her voice is also magnificent. He actually begs for just one single song so he can tell the whole forest she is the incredible queen of all birds. And that takes us to Section 4, springing the trap, the climax. We really have to ask ourselves at this point, is the highly suspicious crow actually going to fall for this trap? The fox is down there literally begging for one song to prove she's the queen of all birds. Will her vanity, her deep, deep desire for status, override her very sensible suspicion? Watch how ridiculously fast this psychological unraveling happens. Second 1. The words hit, and they make her feel really good. Second 2, she decides she actually wants everyone to know her status, that she has a wonderful voice, and she is the queen of the birds. Second 3, her physical defenses completely break, and she cracks a little smile. Second 4, that turns into a big smile. And by second 5, the deception is fully complete. She opens her mouth to sing her absolute best song for the fox. Over just a few moments, her desire for status systematically dismantled every single one of her defenses. And plop! Yep, there it is, the devastating, inevitable result of all that vanity. The very moment she opens her beak to sing, the physical prize drops right out. The cheese falls straight down into the open mouth of the waiting fox, and he consumes his hard-won breakfast instantly, swallowing the whole thing in one massive gulp. Let's look at Section 5, the timeless warning, the aftermath. So the heist is complete, and during his getaway, our con artist actually rubs salt in the wound. He doesn't just quietly run off. Oh no, he uses polite mockery. He looks up and says, "Thank you for the delicious breakfast, Miss Crow." He literally laughs at her and then wishes her a lovely day as he makes his totally clean escape. He leaves the crow sitting there with nothing but a seriously bruised ego and an empty stomach. So, what does this all mean for us? The crucial takeaway from our source material is super simple. Beware of flatterers. They usually want something from you. Listen, flatterers aren't just fictional characters in ancient fables. They are very real people living in our everyday lives. They use excessive, unearned compliments like a psychological crowbar, just trying to pry open your defenses and get exactly what they want. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final thought to consider about your own life. Who is singing your praises today? And what do they really want from you? Take a quick second to think about that the next time someone tells you your feathers are looking particularly shiny. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.